What's going on, everybody? It is according to Low Elo. We are back.
Back
Uh,
once upon a time again.
Actual patch is coming out tomorrow, so that's exciting.
Or today, I guess is when you'll be listening to it. So patch
Or
notes today.
actually, yesterday, because this comes out on Thursday.
Oh, that's right.
We're both fucking wrong. Whatever.
Whatever, just so listen. This is why we are in low elo.
So, not too many things happened from the last bit of stuff we read, which was the content on the PBE. Just two things in general. The main one, well, Rengar is getting pushed back. So all those Rengar changes, they don't have an actual patch date. I'm assuming this is 11/17. So I'm assuming it's gonna be 11/18.
Yeah,
Um, that
or
would be.
later.
I hope. Because again, I'd have to look it up, but I think they said 11/19 might be the world's patch.
Take a peek right now.
That would if they can get the Rengar changes in um for worlds, that would be pretty sick.
11/19.
Is worlds patch?
Yep, that's the world's patch.
Sweet. So hopefully they can get that out because
I don't think they're going to because they're doing. It says here, 11/17 will tweak certain things for solo queue. Riot Games will begin preparation for Worlds on 11/18, and all teams will play Worlds on 11/19. So actually, I won't be surprised if this doesn't get pushed through at all until preseason.
I don't know, man. I think I'll call it a non I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying. I'm gonna bet you for no currency
Oh, okay,
that it's
okay.
coming out next. It'll be on 11/18. But
A no stakes bet. Okay.
there you go. I'm too fucking stupid. So okay, Rengar is getting
um,
pushed back.
yeah, rangity dangity, no rangity dangity.
Then the only other change is Senna,
Senna
and
getting the increase, which
and
is
good.
almost unheard of, but I see this as a Worlds thing. I think they really want her to be in Worlds, but I was just reading a little bit ago that fasting Senna isn't the best way to go, but neither is farming Senna.
So where
It's
the
kind
fuck
of
do you
a,
play
a
her?
mixture of the both. It's a mixture of the two because of the way that the gold efficiency works. Um, so I think you might see some Senna Sona bot lanes, some interesting combos bot lane with her in
What
Worlds.
I guess I should ask you because you could probably look it up better. What's her drop rates when minions just get killed by other champions or just die themselves?
Let me find out, and I will tell you.
Excuse me. Because so last week it was the soul drop rate on minion kills from 4%, which is live, to 8%. Now that is getting increased to 10%. So one out of every 10 minions is gonna drop a soul for her. I
Let's
don't
see,
know.
Senna soul drop rates.
I mean, that's still pretty big.
Yeah,
It's almost getting tripled.
yeah, especially for farming. I think that's a pretty big difference. I'm not seeing it here. Is it
I
gonna
want to say
be?
it's like 30% or something. It's nothing crazy. Obviously, it's better than farming.
Yeah,
I'd say it's like 30. Um, but I feel like they're trying to push this champion to see her at Worlds. I mean, I'd say she's relatively relatively popular. Um, and especially when they want to see her do the whole, like, they actually want to do damage builds because there was the whole thing with Frostfire, and that's not fun and not very it's not fun to watch, and it's not probably not fun to play against. It's very like
yeah,
one single single like style of gameplay, which is, it's bad when any champion can build a tank item too. So I don't know if that was
yeah.
the.
The grasp Senna and the tank Senna. It's just
See, I don't know if that's a falter on the item or the champion. I'm assuming it's the champion, because like you could just take
that's true.
a champion like Senna, like scales very like infinitely. So And if you build tank items on her, eventually she's gonna get to the point where she doesn't need to build damage items. She just has survivability, and she can just fucking kill everybody. Oh,
Okay, here we go. So enemy champions and large monsters are guaranteed to spawn a Mist Wraith. Minions and lesser monsters that Senna kills have a 10% chance to spawn a Mist Wraith, which is in the current patch now. Large minions that Senna doesn't kill are guaranteed, while lesser minions and lesser monsters that Senna doesn't kill have a 28% chance to do so. So yeah, 30% pretty close. So they're just saying, look, if you want to play farming Senna, you can still do it. That is still a gold efficient way. You just lose a little bit on the innate passive,
mhm.
but that's not a terrible thing. Considering it just got buffed, it's not a terrible thing to go and play regular farming Senna. You're still gonna get your souls. Obviously, they're gonna be like almost tripled of what they were just a patch ago. Um, so I am expecting to see a lot more Senna ADCs. Uh, Probably not as many of the fasting style. I think you're gonna see a lot of farming, just
No, I think once
regular style.
they, especially since they made sure Tom Kench is a top laner now, because he was probably easily the best to
Yeah,
pair with. There might have
to
been like
create the
other,
ultimate safety.
yeah. So that was pretty much as far as differences on the patch notes compared to the PBE patch notes from last week. That was the
Yeah,
only
they're
thing.
pretty accurate, which I think makes a lot of sense around this time of year, as they're trying to nail things down before Worlds and really not screw anything up. But they still managed to do that with Gangplank.
Oh yeah, I know they promised to never do that again. That's why there's
Yeah, but
like,
it still managed to screw them up this patch with the range attack. I think they over. It's
ooh,
a bug.
we can get into that in a minute.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
trying to think. So that was, do they how often back? Do you remember back then how often patches came out? I don't think they were every 2 weeks.
I mean, it wasn't. I don't think it was every 2 weeks until. Oh God,
I remember that
season
one season.
5.
I remember that one season where they like, was it they're gonna do one big patch a month and then a smaller one?
Oh God, that was like 4.
You remember
Season
that?
4. Maybe that was season 5. Yeah,
And that did not
that's when we
work.
were first starting to play the game. And they're like,
But
yeah,
no,
we'll release patches regularly, probably every 2 weeks, but don't hold us to that. I was like, what does that mean?
I'm gonna assume that in season 5, when that whole Juggernaut rework happened, that was probably like a patch a month, because that was so big and like it was so
Yeah,
devastating, and that was a fun Worlds. But I mean, Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
that was the Darius top at Worlds like every game.
But okay, so those are only two changes. So we'll get into what we think, because to be fair, we don't have that much. There's not that many changes, and we're actually thinking about changing how we release content. We might be just be dropping the whole PBE like read, because
Yeah,
I think it's more fun to read it the day before or when the patch is actually released. Um, so bear with us. We're adjusting. So as far as this patch goes, we're thinking what are going to be the biggest impactful changes, the best champions,
champions
etc.
are gonna see for sure, and I think number one on my list of champions that I expect to see this next patch, Gangplank. I don't want to say I expect 100% pick ban because I just don't think that that's feasible or realistic in
It's
low elo.
also, he
But
has a
I do
very, sorry, go ahead.
those I do expect to see um, a lot of bans and a lot of picks. I would say probably in the neighborhood of like 50%. Now you should probably expect to see him in your game. Um, and if you don't, consider yourself lucky.
Well, I mean, he has a very high scaling
Definitely has a skill
cap.
cap too. Yeah.
High, that's what I said. Um,
Well, he's got a high. You're not wrong. He has a high ceiling, which is what makes him a very solid champion. And I think that even if he gets shut down in the current state of the, or in the current state of the game, he's still useful because with the crits getting 125, the barrel crits getting 125% effectiveness of the crit damage, I believe, is gonna be absolutely
yeah, so
insane.
it's an extra 50%.
And it
increased
ignores
Chris,
40% armor already. Like, Jesus Christ.
and five barrels.
Yeah,
Remember that.
yeah. So I expect to see it. I will expect to see some really cool GP plays with the barrels, some barrel games, more than the triple ghost barrel. So I think that'll be fun too.
It's like, because since they're changing his Q to ranged, so I know we talked about this. I honestly, I think the more I thought about it, I think grass just still might be the best. I mean, fleet is fine, but if if you're gonna be if you're gonna be wanting to build more glass cannon, then I still think grass is better over fleet, because fleet is just, I guess, really to just help you in lane. Grass is just gonna make you scale harder, and especially if you're not gonna build more HP, like if you're not, I, it's tough.
The
I
grasp was definitely taking a nerf from the Q because that was the thing, right? Hit a couple minions, walk up, Q the enemy, take the heal, and take the melee buff. But now you're definitely gonna get a lot less off of the health buff, which means you're gonna see a less tanky GP in general.
That's why I think
So I think Fleet's gonna step up for him though.
I just think grass is better. Just that whole skill tree, or that whole tree in general, is just gonna be,
That tree is better for lane sustain.
if if you're gonna be building more glass cannon, like I'm assuming. I mean, I'm sure people will still go Sterix gauge, because I feel like Sheen item, like Sterix, Sheen item plus Sterix is still gonna be really good.
Yeah.
I think it's still gonna be. I think Triforce is gonna be better on him. Triforce, like Collector, Trinity, or Infinity Edge, um, but I still think Grass is gonna be better, because even though it got nerfed for him, you're still stacking HP. You'll still get, you can just run up if you have your passive. You can just run up and whack them and then run out. I mean, they are nerfing the movement speed early, but that's still
You
gonna
don't
give you a little bit of a, you
you
know.
don't think he might go the old Duskblade?
I think that's super greedy. I think you go
It is
Duskblade.
definitely greedy.
I think you go Duskblade if you're against a bunch of squishies,
That's fair.
because it'd be like Duskblade into Essence Reaver, because you need that
I think
man.
he might go back into building Ghostblade now though.
Oh yeah, because that did get changed. I mean,
Yeah.
what's cool about Collector is that it does give lethality and crit, which is kind of overpowered if you think about it. Those are two really good. Well, one's an early game stat, and then one's a late game stat. But crit,
And the execution is just dumb.
but lethality, like matched with crit, especially if you're going against squishies, it's just so devastating. And now that barrels will crit for 50% more, like it's gonna be strong as fuck.
That's insane. I find that number to be
I think
gross.
that's what they're trying to, like, again with the Q nerf to with Grassland and dying. I think they're trying to, like, okay, so he's gonna be way weaker in lane, but we should make sure that when he gets to late game, he's gonna be a fucking monster and just, shit on
He'll be
people.
easier. He should be easier to pick off, but he's also gonna blow your ass
I
off.
think good. Okay, I think good Gangplank players are gonna have a field day with this.
Yeah, I almost expect to see him more in mid lane right now, as well, because I don't think he's not going to be able to contend with the tankier top laners. I think he might hang in more in the mid lane.
I think you're
It is
right.
a little bit safer. That's a little more damage oriented too.
The lane's not as long either, so he can,
Yeah,
yeah, actually, yeah, that's actually a good point. I can't remember the last time, at least in pro, that we saw a Gangplank mid. It's usually top.
it's definitely usually top because it's a little bit safer. But I think if you're just going to blow people up and be the damage oriented part, you might as well just play mid lane. Which means you probably also are going to start seeing some Aurelius and stuff that can jump on him.
Oh, but
Um,
Aurelia is getting nerfed.
she is. She is.
Fuck that champion.
But sometimes like the Aurelias and the Camille's, just think about champions that jump on GP and kind of ruin his day. Because like, yeah, he's a melee champion, but he definitely benefits from being far away from you, especially with the barrel chains and
So
the parlay.
I guess that's another good like reason for him to play mid. Like, I feel like Camille completely fucks him, and I don't think you're gonna be seeing Camille mid.
You probably won't, but it's a possibility. People, you probably won't see it in your low elo games, but like pro level, I would expect to see something like that. Someone's like, you know what, the hell with that. I'm just gonna go shit on this GP. Fuck them.
Trying to think of other mid laners. I mean, there's like Syndra. Syndra's
I
not
don't,
bad against
I don't
him.
think you'll see like I think that'll also, if he's in mid lane, I think that'll also push some of the marksmen out of mid lane.
Well, Lucian is for sure going bye bye.
Lucian's gone, but like the Tristana, even like Soul Lane Callista's, although she might still be okay into him.
So I mean, this might. So I'm looking at the patch notes. This might encourage more AD because Evelyn's because as long if you want to play an AD mid, if there's an AP jungler, or if you play an AD mid, you need an AP jungler, and you're looking at Evelyn. Echo
And
is
Echo,
getting jungle buffs, so I missed. I don't think. I mean, as far and then okay, Zed's getting nerfed. Aurelia is getting nerfed. Have been seeing
both
Aurelia
good for
one.
GP.
Yeah, yeah. Any assassins? See that brings me back. Like you're probably still gonna want to build Sirix Gauge. That may be your one defensive item, or maybe GA. But
Yeah, I feel like Sterix is nice to get the healing off of it too.
it's just he's like the ultimate like. It's like a gamble, dude. Like you want to like one shot people, or do you want to live? And again, good
Yeah,
Gangplank players are gonna be able to fucking just destroy a team and live.
yeah,
But no, I'm hyped on Ghostblade changes. That's gonna be cool.
that'll be fun for GP. It will not be fun for those of us who do not play GP and that are actively playing against him. Um,
So I guess okay, as far as so Gangplank, I think you're gonna be one
Definitely
of the
expect to
biggest.
see Gangplank.
I
Definitely expect to see Senna.
Senna, for sure. We just talked about Lucian. For sure, Lucian is gonna be. Sounds like he's gonna be like
Bot
king of the
lane.
bot lane. Um,
What if you just go Lucian Senna? That would be pretty broken. Double buff champions in a lane that should play well together.
I'm just
I
trying
feel like
to.
they're just very poke heavy and it's actually ridiculous and they're just all in you.
I still think though you're gonna need to play Lucian with either an enchanter or a tank that's gonna be running Font of Life
Yeah,
to get
yeah,
that bonus. I mean, Senna has
yep.
a Q heal, but I don't think you're gonna be wanna just Q your Lucian to have him run up and damage. I don't think that's gonna be.
No, but you could still run Font of Life on Senna and run with
Oh,
the
yeah.
W and you
Oh,
get the pop.
Glacial.
Or
Wait,
you can go Glacial too,
that
but the
procs it,
W,
right?
the stun, yeah, Glacial does proc it any sort of CC.
Oh, okay,
So I
that's
mean, you could
actually not
still
bad.
do that.
That's
You
not
could still
bad.
do that.
Though, if you're running Senna as support, you're not really going to be utilizing the buff because you're not killing the minions.
Okay, fair.
Though, but remember the other
But then you could
half.
always just leave and start farming later. Like, I mean,
I mean, just remember the other. They also changed her critical strike damage and bumped it by 10%,
yeah, that's true.
150% to 160%. So I
That
mean,
is true.
but I'm surprised you haven't talked about Nami. Like Nami is gonna be fucking good.
Nami's gonna be
Nami got a
great.
nice little buff there too.
She's gonna be great. And actually, just kind of looking at some of the stuff as I'm thinking about it, there's one of two ways that this can go. I think, especially with the GP buff, um, either on the top side, you're gonna start seeing more of the fighter matchups into GP that can try to one
Just
shot
wreck
him
him.
before he can one shot them, or you're gonna see tank matchups that are gonna say, "Fuck it, GP, do what you're gonna do. I'm just gonna be my little tank self over here." And depending on what you get, I think you're gonna see Jin, because Jin obviously doesn't do good into tanks. He's playing really well right now in plat and above, but that's because there's not a whole lot of tanks, but there's room for him in the top side. I don't. So I'm curious to see, are we gonna see people pushing for tanks and say, "Fuck it, GP's just gonna do GP things. If we can just keep him occupied, the rest of our map will win."
I
Or
think
if they're just say, "Kill that guy,
I
just
think the only
murder him."
the only good tank is Ornn. Like right now, at least top lane wise is Ornn.
Yeah, yeah. Other, because if you're playing Malphite, you're not even building tanky. You're building AP.
Yeah, it's
But
that's the scary thing though. Is like if you play a tank in a gangplank, that's like literally you bending over in lane and be like, hey, you can just scale for free off me. That was pretty disgusting back.
No, it's definitely it's definitely a gamble. It's definitely a gamble. So that's where I'm
You got to wager.
interested to see what happens.
You got to wager if your tank is going to scale harder than the gangplank. So
And the only one that's really probably going to try to do that is Ornn, because at least he has team scaling too.
exactly, and
Um,
there's no other tanks top lane that are worth it. That's why you're seeing Jace and Darius and Camille. Like you're just looking at fighters.
I'll say the other reason I like Ornn into GP is he doesn't have a stun. He's got a pop up,
Yeah, that kind of fucks him.
and yeah, you can't orange out of a pop up. So that's actually something I hadn't thought about until just now. Like, maybe you will start seeing some more Orns. The other, I was gonna say the champions. I think we're gonna see fall off of this next patch. I think your veins and your ashes are gonna go bye bye.
The Wits End, yeah, Wits End is getting hit.
The Wits End nerf is really gonna hurt that. I mean, Ash is still good, but if you're gonna see more GPs, it's almost not even worth playing Ash because she has the one arrow. And like, yeah, okay, you can hit other champions, but GP can also just be smart, face take it, orange out, and now your ulti's on cooldown for a minute, and there's a big engage tool gone.
The other thing
I know Leona's getting nerfed, but I expect to see her still just because
I think
she's too
still
strong with how many stuns she has.
69 stuns, dude.
Yeah.
I know we were briefly talking before we started recording. Is with the Wits End nerf, that's gonna feels like it might encourage more AP champions bot lane because you got every single champion building Wits End right now.
Yeah.
So it's gonna make them a little more vulnerable because you're not gonna want to buy Wits End until like late game, but at that point, there's no point, right?
Level 11, right? I think it's level 11 or level 9. I think it's level 9.
Yeah, it was 1 to 8 is like 15 to 30, and then after that, it is when it hits harder.
Yeah. So right now, oftentimes the current build is to go rush the Wits End because it's cheap, and then build your Mythic. So I think this is gonna reverse that for sure because it's not even worth the damage at the price at that early. Second, third item worth the damage for the price.
I think especially on Ash where you don't necessarily need to build crit. I think that's why it's so good.
Yeah.
I guess Vayne too, because if you build a Rage Blade, it cuts all the crit out.
Yeah. Those are your two champions that are really building Rage Blade and on hit items.
I still think Viego is gonna. Though I know on the patch notes photo, it says it's mainly for pro play. The nerf was mainly for pro play because those people are fucking insane at the game. I still don't think I'll have to say Viego is my permaban right now if I play Summoner's Rift. So I might just have to test not banning him and play against him or play as him just to see how it feels. I still think it's pretty big. I mean, the base heal from your passive when you inhabit a soul is dropping.
Yeah.
I think it's big.
I think that whole champion's gonna see a world of difference, and the fact that he's not gonna build Sunder anymore.
That's right.
He's gonna be more feast or famine, I think, and in the state of the last patch, he was not feast or famine. You could be famine the whole time, and all you need is one reset streak where you get a triple kill, and all of a sudden, champion's back in the game, dealing a massive amount of damage with bruiser items instead of fighter items. So
did you see that? Was it inspired in LEC? Did you see that Viego Pentakill?
No.
It was literally 1v9 Pentakill. He was like at 1 HP.
Jesus.
I'll have to link it to you after this. It's fucking nuts. I forgot to add that if you want to see. I think it was inspired. Is he a jungler?
Yes.
Is he? What team is he on? I'm fucking totally
Mad?
off.
I think it's Mad.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I'm sorry. He's on
Rogue.
It must be Rogue.
It was either Rogue or Mad because it was during that series.
It has to be Rogue because Elioya is on Mad, and Elioya is a madman.
Okay, that's off topic, but I'll have to show you that after this.
Yeah.
So okay, yeah. So for sure, I think Graves is gonna be put back into the jungle, and I know again on the sheet it says it's a nerf, particular to mid lane Graves, which we don't ever. Well, I guess that's for everything. It says it's on every skill. I don't see Graves mid in my games.
I've seen it 3 times, and even when he does bad, he still wins.
Because champion just scales really fucking hard too.
No, that's what it is. Yeah, he becomes a monster, and he's able to scale really hard, really early. and that's why he's broken.
Um, going back to looking at Fleet, do you think how many champions do you think are going to take Fleet? Not necessarily just marksmen's. I mean everything, every champion.
That's a good question. I could see it being. I could see Kale wanting to take it. She's kind of got a crisis between any of the yellow tree keystones. I mean, I feel like she's good with PTA. She's really good with lethal tempo. Hell, she could even take Hail of Blades if she wanted to.
I think
I
it's
don't
just
think it's as good,
I think the
but
Fleet is good just to get her to level 6 so she
yep,
can become ranged.
yep, I
Um,
agree. That's what I'm thinking. Um,
I think I could.
Obviously the Caitlyn's.
Ooh, I'm hyped for that. I'm ready to
I
play
could
some more Caitlyn.
see. I know you made a case for GP to go go green tree. I could still see him going precision tree
I'll try it.
and taking fleet. I could totally see that being a thing. Um, I have seen, and this is kind of troll, but I have seen some people play Renekton with fleet just so they can get the movement speed boost and really chase somebody down. He doesn't get the damage that he gets from PTA, but it's a possibility. Um, there's a lot of champions that can really utilize the hell out of it.
I'm thinking.
Obviously, Jin.
I'm looking at like Echo. You think Echo could take it in the jungle? Just have extra
He could
sustain.
pop and just run.
So that's. I mean, that's big. I think it's
Yeah,
gonna be. I think we're gonna put. If Graves for sure is like 100% a jungler again, I think Fleet will be good for him. I think you can see it on
absolutely,
Echo.
absolutely good. Good extend, good sustain.
It's
I
the
forget about Graves
I'm
taking that.
I feel like they're gonna nerf Fleet
What
against
about
jungle creeps.
what about Akshan? You think Akshan would take it?
Maybe. I don't know how good his lane. I haven't played the
I have
champion,
not. Yeah, I've not played him at all.
so
I haven't even come across him in an ARAM or anything.
I still think press might be the best, just because the way his auto attacks work, could just boom boom boom
Yeah,
pop it really quick. Um,
yeah.
one champion we didn't even talk about. This might be the last one we mentioned is a Mumu.
The mummy.
The double Q charge or the two Q charges, and then
He's,
that's all they changed. They
he's
nerfed
coming.
everything
He's
else.
coming to toilet paper your house, bro.
To Spider-Man No Way Home trailer dropped. I swear to God, I saw a
That
Mumu in
Moo
there.
right on cue. How did he know? This mummy is a genius.
Um. So yeah, I know they're.
What do you think about in mid lane about mages coming in and really just opening up and I know you said bot lane mages being a thing because of the drop of wits end, but what do you think about mid lane mages? I feel like with Lucian moving out,
It's for sure going to be more dominated towards.
yeah,
I mean,
I don't know
especially
that, and I feel like assassins kind of it's hard to say because assassins got a buff and a nerf, right? That the Youmuu's buff, but the Serpent's Fang nerf,
yeah,
so
Zed
it's
got
hard to.
nerfed, Kane got nerfed.
Yeah, so I'm curious with some of these assassins being nerfed if you think you're going to see some more control mages or hell even some Cassidans. Cassidin makes good use of fleet.
Yeah, let's say that's another good champion. True.
He makes good use of fleet. I wonder if you might see him just kind of rise because nothing happened to Cassidin, right? No buffs, no nerfs, but you're seeing nerfs around him, and you're not seeing too many buffs around him,
I
which should put him up by the mere fact of nothing.
Yeah, I would say I think Cassidy just suffers. There's too many champions. Like, sure, he takes reduced. His passive is I think he takes reduced damage from like magic, or his Q. I know his Q gives him
That's
a
his
magic
Q.
shield,
Yeah, I don't
but
even remember what his passive
I
is.
just feel like he's kind of like Kale, where he suffers levels 1 through 6.
Yeah.
And I feel like at least if I'm talking about pro play, they know exactly how to just destroy that. And then like one is you have like champions like Syndra,
Well,
even
I think
Oriana.
What Casson does well though is he does really good in these drawn out team fights where
If you
he's
can
able
get
to stack his ulti.
see
I
yeah, if you can get to that point,
I mean the same way you say that the pros know how to shit on him, I think the pros know how to pilot him as well.
that's fair. It's just it's
Um,
really
but yeah,
hard.
he is difficult, but he's got a high reward if you can execute.
Oh yeah, you win the game if you hit level 16 on that champion. The dude has a flash every half second.
Every half second, he's just popping fools. A flash with damage. It's pretty gross. Anyways, that's my one speculative champion is the Casadino.
I think that's about
But
it.
that's about it in
For
terms of
patch.
patch stuff. There's some non gameplay things that we also kind of wanted to talk about. One of those being the skins and
Oh, Pentakill.
the Pentakill that came out.
Let's go.
That I think is gonna be really fun. I will say I'm a little peeved that they're just releasing new Pentakill skins for the same champions that already have Pentakill skins. So I feel like that's kind of strange.
Well, I mean, they want to make money. They don't make money if they just
that's what it is. That's I think the part that kills it. It's totally cash grab. Like,
I mean,
come on, right?
think about it this way. So I think those came out in 2014, the
Oh, they're
original
old.
ones.
They're old.
Think about KDA, and I know we're gonna compare this to KDA.
That's true. KDA does have two skins. I didn't even think about that.
KDA, I think the first one was it 2018 they came out.
Maybe
The first set of KDA, and then 2 years later they have All Out. That's
KDA
just
yeah, I
2
didn't even think about
years.
KDA All Out. I didn't even think about that.
It's the
You're
same
right.
thing. I mean, I'm fine with all those skins.
Yeah,
but it's.
I feel like there's more different champions though in the KDA line compared to the Pentakill line, because Pentakill line's the same, and they're adding the dissonance with Viego, right? Who was the band before Pentakill? I think is the lore.
Is that what's going on? I know.
I think that's the lore.
I keep seeing people talk about, because Volibear is supposed to get a prestige skin this year, and they're thinking it's gonna be some kind of music related skin. So he might be part. That's my whole theory. Is there's gonna be some sort of
come
like
in and yell, "I am the storm," like a wiener.
That could be I wonder if that's a song name. No. But I could see like a band versus band like event. All the music is just pentakills, but like I don't know. I'm sure there'll be tracks that like Viego is singing, quote unquote, or whatever. Maybe he's not the singer.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, he's a guitar player.
Yeah.
He's a guitar player, but maybe he could do both. I don't know. I'm not sure.
But what I've seen, at least for the new Pentakill skins, is they are fucking sick.
They look good.
The Sono one is really good too.
They look good. I saw them on the PvE preview. Is that from Skin Spotlights? I think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They looked really good. I thoroughly enjoyed the Karthus backing animation. I thought that was great.
I'm surprised.
He kind of spins around and dances around the mic. I'm like, that's actually really friggin' cool.
I'm surprised there's not a legendary skin. They're all 1350.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There's not one.
I was expecting the Viego one to be legendary, because usually whenever a bunch of skins come out, there's a legendary skin. But
yeah,
interesting. Hope you can't hear Sophie. My dog is like sitting right here, and she's just.
I can't hear her at all.
She's punching. I have a paper shredder. She likes to punch things when she wants attention, and she's probably hungry, and she's just. Okay, but thankfully you can't hear it. So
but, so I was gonna say we were gonna talk KDA. I wouldn't say versus, but compared to Pentakill. Obviously, the metal fans did not get much out of the 2 KDA releases compared to the 1 Pentakill release from years ago. But I think this is kind of cool to bring some people back around, make them feel more included, because the KDA, the pop star style, definitely. I mean, I think the skin line's cool. The songs they've made are cool. It's not necessarily my cup of tea. It's not like I'm gonna go listen to them outside the game. Where like Pentakill, I'll jam some Lightbringer, you know what I'm saying? But like, I'm not out here jamming. Is it pop stars?
Would you believe me if I said I do?
Oh man,
dude, that shit slaps. That shit slaps.
No,
I got you. What I'm scared of is, so obviously I feel like KDA was designed to sell.
Oh,
because
absolutely.
obviously their
That's what pop
biggest
is designed for, right?
Riot's like biggest market is China. I think
Yeah. Tencent. Yeah.
I think every major like their main target audience is China because there's 2 billion people there or whatever. But
Yeah.
obviously they're gonna love the girl um pop. Why can't I think of what's the name of the genre?
K-pop.
K-pop. Everyone there is just gonna love K-pop. It's gonna sell. What I'm scared is Pentakill. This album is gonna do well. The skins are gonna do well, but not well enough, and that's
Not
gonna
in
like,
comparison.
yeah, exactly. Compared, it's not gonna do enough for them to like. Oh yeah, we'll just do like. What if they don't do Pentakill 4, or if they don't want
Yeah.
to? That's what scares me. That's
I,
what.
I, I do feel like Pentakill is far more niche than
It's a smaller audience for sure.
absolutely is. Absolutely is.
I'm hoping, but on the flip side, I hope them releasing this gets a lot of people like to appreciate it and like it. It's fucking sick. They have a metal band in League. Like I wish we were playing way back when, because the skins came out before the music, and I would have been that must have been amazing to like, oh my god, the skin line is getting an album.
I
How
remember
insane would that?
when that album came out. That was so freaking cool.
It's good. It's good.
And and yeah, I remember like jamming that thing for a long time.
I
It's
still
like
jam
this
it. I
album
still
is so
jam it.
good. I still do. The first half of the album I think is better because the second half is mostly instrumental. Um,
Pentakill 2 is good too. I think it's a
Pentakill
little.
2 was pretty decent. It was pretty decent. They're definitely different. Like they're definitely different, but I like them.
So I'm hoping maybe we could do, maybe when that gets released, we could do like a review. We'll listen to it
Yeah.
and we could just
Oh,
talk
you know
about.
what I did? I was reading on Reddit. They were People are speculating, since Worlds got moved to Europe, which we'll touch on in a second, that there could be a Pentacle live performance,
Oh, I
and
hope.
because a lot of the band members are European, like that would be super cool. I know they did one a couple Worlds ago, but it was just like a lip sync over the actual song, if I remember correctly.
It's
And they
what's.
had the guy dressed up as Karthus actually come out.
Oh, that was sick.
That
I'm
was
just.
super sick, but like I know it wasn't they weren't singing it.
I
They weren't playing it.
From what we saw them play at the LCS finals.
Oh, that's right.
We're not gonna talk about Dash, but like it just felt weird with no audience. And I don't know. I obviously
And
don't.
it was pre-recorded too, right?
I think it was. It sounded like it was.
I believe it was pre-recorded. It was
Um,
live, but pre-recorded.
I hope like I don't know what
If
Europe,
that makes sense.
how their COVID stuff is like.
They're pretty shut down, I think, if I remember correctly. They're
So
pretty
I'm assuming there's not going to be any fans, or if there is,
yeah,
it's going to
probably
be
not.
very small. Because that's what I feel like you need is you need a fucking audience for shit like that. Because it's going to be
You
epic. It's
do.
going to be
Yeah.
insane. Like
It's definitely engaging. It's not like a 3D music video like you can get away with KDA. It definitely involves real people,
I speaking
which
of like
means you need real reactions.
I'm assuming, and actually I'm more hoping that there's a music video for like whatever single they come out with for Pentakill, like they did. Was it Mortal Reminder music video? Whatever
I thought it was Tear the Goddess,
it was one, I can't remember.
the one with Kale, right?
It's when they're in Bandle City. I
I think
think
it
it
was
was
Tear
more
the Goddess.
whatever.
I don't know. Whatever the one where Kale's singing in it.
Um,
I remember they had a music video for that, but they didn't have anything for the first album.
right. Well, it was too old. They probably didn't.
I know,
Um,
but they could have retroed back to Lightbringer. I mean, Lightbringer is such a good song.
but I'm hoping we're in 2021. The KDA music videos are sick. The True Damage one was sick. Just they're
Forgot about
like
True
art.
Damage too.
They're all,
Jesus.
yeah, right. Their art department, their like video whatever is department is
They're
insane.
very good. They're actually extremely good. Even like look at like the Netflix series that's coming up.
Oh my
Looks
god,
great.
yes.
So I mean they definitely have good uh
Artist.
artistic Yeah, they just have good artistic feel and good artistic intuition.
Very good,
I
like
think
visual storytelling
yes,
too.
yes, extremely. You see that in all their shorts all the time that they're always releasing. The videos here and there. And although the Viego's story was kind of dumb in the way the video played out compared to the story, the video itself was badass. Yeah, every time they release some sort of cinematic, even the Thresh one they just released for Legends of Runeterra, I thought was really friggin' cool.
Yeah, it was well done for sure.
And I like the fact that they don't stick to, or they don't try to go for like a realistic graphics. Like they go for the comic book style um, artwork or the exacerbated proportions and whatnot, and they stick with that, and they're willing to make them even crazier.
Hmm.
I think that's actually really cool. They're leaning into the non-realistic
Yeah, like
style.
more fantasy kind of.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
But
so
yeah,
I think
hopefully they play at Worlds.
that would be awesome. I think that'd be really cool. Speaking of worlds, obviously the news broke
We're not in
a couple
China
days ago.
anymore.
Recently, yeah, we're not going to China. We're going to Europe. They don't even know where in Europe yet. From my
That's
understanding, they haven't
fucking
picked yet,
nuts.
which is actually insane.
Was it like a month
Um,
away? Like about a
yeah,
month.
yeah, they don't even have the venues picked out yet, which is crazy. The other piece of interesting news was that today, on August 24th, there was what seems to be a confirmation of Worlds coming back to NA in 2022, depending on COVID situation. It would be awesome
I
because
hope
we got to go during group
2016.
stages. Yeah, during the group stages of the GP remake. uh, that was so friggin' cool. It was a really cool event.
I think
It
that was
almost felt like
was that our first
walking around
league
like a theme park.
event? I think that was our first league event.
No, it wasn't because we went for my birthday earlier that year to watch league. That was 2016 TSM with Sven Skaren, Double Lift, Biofrost, and we saw them. I have the picture to prove it. We saw them earlier that year around my birthday in February.
Was that 2016? I
That was the
don't know.
2016 team. And then they also TSM got clapped at Worlds that year by
They
RNG.
Dude, they always get clapped.
And RNG wasn't that good that year. They were good, but they ended up sucking.
Hey, good news for you. They can't get clapped this year.
This is true. This is true.
Oh, by the way, I won a bet. We had made a bet that
All
C9
right.
was gonna
No,
win.
we made a bet. You more or less you forced a bet upon me, and I
I
said,
didn't
all
force
right.
shit on you.
You said, all right, we're making a
Whenever
bet. I was like, okay, fine.
whenever it's like playoffs and it's C9 versus TSM,
Which is
we
damn near inevitable.
we always make a bet, not that a little bit of money, $10, and I fucking won for once. Every time this dude always wins because his garbage team somehow best C9, but not this time.
Not this time. You had perks buff, and we had
I'm dude,
PoE nerf.
but the more I listen to like the dive and stuff, and they're talking about this weekend, I think 100 Thieves is gonna beat C9 and go to finals.
God, that's such a
It's tough.
tough.
I think it's gonna be a good series.
That's such a like a. I'm up in the air on that. I think I was listening to the dive, and there, Mark Z was saying, everyone went freaking as they all like, yeah, 100 Thieves. And Mark's like, I'm just gonna say C9 just to say the opposite.
Oh no, they're
Um,
saying like
but I
their
that
brain.
could very easily be a 5-game series, and I can see it being a 5-game series. Regardless, I think C9 gets clapped by TL if they win. I think 100 Thieves have a better shot to play against TL, even though Someday is nowhere near uh, the caliber of player that Alfari is.
Mhm.
I think Abadage can neutralize
Jensen.
Jensen, and I think that FBI and Huni are a formidable bot lane duo into
Core J.
Tactical and Core JJ, who really Core JJ is the star there. Tactical is just along for the ride. He's good in his own right, but Core JJ is definitely the bigger player there. Where I feel like FBI Huni,
They're a way better
who
comp.
he, excuse me, God, I think I
Huni,
said Huni the first time. I mean who he.
TSM fanboy.
Uh, I think that lane is just so strong and consistent.
Yeah.
Um, So that'll be interesting. I think that's a 5 game series, and then I think if it goes C9 to TL, I think that's a 3-1 in TL's favor. I think C9 pilfers a game because Fudge is good. Fudge is really good. um, if it goes to 100 Thieves TL, I think that's easily a 5 game series.
We'll see. Um, I still want Cloud9 to win, but I don't think they are. Like I think Mark said it is his brain says 100 Thieves, but his heart says Cloud9.
Cloud9 playoff buff, dude. Gauntlet buff. That's what they're good at and known for. But also, none of those guys are on this squad anymore. So
Right, exactly.
you don't even
Um,
have Reapered or even Rainover. Wasn't Rainover
yeah,
coaching for them for a while too? And he
yeah.
was like really good in that too. Yeah. So it'll be interesting. But hey, we're not talking about professional because we are not professional
We're
players.
just I know we were talking about Worlds coming to NA next year possibly, and it somehow got into LCS.
It turned to copium.
But I hope if it does come to NA, I hope it comes to. We live in the Bay Area, in Northern California. Hopefully, it'll come to the same. I'm assuming it's probably going to be in because they have like 5 different stops. I'm assuming it's one of them is going to be in LA. Like,
Yeah, I feel like if COVID is still even slightly around, I fully expect one of them to be in LA, if not the finals, because they're going to try to protect NA players.
yeah,
Um, but hey, if it
think
goes to LA, I'd down to make that trip.
I would. Yeah, six. It'll been 6 years, so we
Yeah,
kind of miss it, and I don't
down
want.
to make a trip.
I get they wanted to have in China every year because there's so many
Does
people there.
10 cent exists?
That too. Um, but fingers crossed next year. That is about it. The only other thing I had briefly mentioned is take a guess at what the Victoria skin is going to be this year.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. That's such a hard pick.
Considering there's more champions every year, it gets harder every year.
I feel like
Is it gonna be Viego?
a
Like,
consistent. No, I don't think so. I think a consistent pick that's performed all season pretty decently is Nar. Even though everyone's kind of hated on Nar, I feel like as a professional pick, Nar has just been around.
what was last year's?
Um,
Was it? It
was
wasn't.
last year with Lucian?
Was it
I think last
Lucian?
year was Lucian.
I'll have to look that up. I'll have to double check that.
Um, yeah, I feel like Nar, pretty solid. Who else have we seen a lot of? Um, I don't think it'll be Seraphine because she ain't really done anything
Mm,
since the beginning of the season, since her release.
it was
So
Lucian.
I think she's out. Um, God, who was just like I can't even think of like just a
Xin
top
Zhao.
rate.
Xin Zhao.
Zin's pretty solid right now, but I feel like he's second half of the season, but still pretty solid.
I'm
Um,
still always hoping for Gangplank. I feel like he's just such a like. He's just in every
old
meta.
Jeeps.
Could be
Yeah, he
Camille
is.
too. Camille I think is really gross. Has been played a lot. I don't know if they're gonna count Lucian as a mid laner or a marksman, like an AD, a bot laner. I know Ezreal got played a bunch. Aphelios got played a bunch. Um,
I think
Kais-
Aphelios hasn't been nearly as good as he was last year
that's true.
upon release.
That's true. He's.
Kai'Sa's always around. That champion is a mainstay. Like there's almost not a game where there's
Do you
Kai'Sa,
think they would? What about Leona? I feel like Leona's been played a lot.
but so has the cow.
Alistair, Nautilus. Could you
I
imagine
feel
if
like
they?
I feel like Leona. It could even, dude. If it's Thresh,
I was about to say you
if
better
it's
fucking
Thresh, dude.
lose
Oh,
your mind.
I have to grind so hard if it's Thresh. That would be cool. I don't know, but I'm thinking like the 100 Thieves series where they left Thresh up. Like it's possible he's been useful all season. I don't think there's been a point in the season where he's not been a top pick. It,
What? When hasn't he been?
professional or solo queue. I feel like he's been so pivotal. Um, that would be interesting. I hadn't even thought about that. That would be an interesting pick.
That'd be cool.
That
That'd be
that's I think that's doable. Like I said, Nar is one of the ones I've been seeing a lot. Kai'Sa's a champion I've seen a lot, but sometimes with the victorious ones, it's like who made a giant impact on the game. Um, it's generally not a new champion, so I would discount Viego. And I don't think Viego's even had that much of an impact. Right? He's been played a lot, but I think a lot of pros realize Diego's not that great. Like he's got moments, but he's not that great. I wonder if even Tristana might be on that ballot too.
Maybe it's a good guess too.
I think that the FBI play or there's it was FBI, wasn't it? No, it was Danny. It was the Danny play.
Yep.
The Danny Tristana. That was
Epic.
a crazy play.
It's a good one. But I mean, we got 3 months.
A lot of time.
2 months. 3 months.
Yeah.
August, September. Yeah, 3 months.
I think it'd be fun to see Ash.
You just have a boner for Ash.
Dude, this season she's been really good. I
You
mean,
know what?
With the multitude of items that she can use.
You know what? Why don't they just make Victorious Wits End?
All right, you know what? Fuck, you're getting victorious items now, motherfucker.
What if like Orange?
You actually carry a sword with you as you're running up and down the lane? It's the first item that actually gives you an item to carry with you.
Oh man, I think that's gonna do it. That was a fun episode. I'm excited to see these changes tomorrow, or on the 25th.
Whatever, when we start playing them, yeah.
Whatever. Fuck you. We'll be trying some stuff next week. We might be doing something different.
Next week we'll stay off the PBE, but I think even the next patch is going to be kind of small, anyways.
Yeah.
There won't be much to talk about in a couple of weeks, I don't think, just based on what we're looking at and the time frame we're coming up on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think just keep an eye out if you guys have any suggestions for content you want to hear. Now's a great time. We're looking for some suggestions, some things that you guys want to listen to or hear us talk about or banter on, whether it be part of the game, part of an aspect of the game, skins, pro play. I don't know.
Anything.
We're totally open to ideas, and we're totally open to people that even might want to be on the show or be a part of. Happy to see what we could do to get people in here to talk. Everyone's got interesting ideas. We're not the smartest people. We don't have all the ideas.
We just want to have conversations.
Yeah, and have some fun talking about the game in a low stakes manner. It's not a high stakes or not a high elo, so it's very low stakes conversation. So I think the other point I wanted to mention that I thought about and made me laugh because you mentioned it the other day. Some of the LCS teams have not been listening to this podcast, and they have not been buying Grievous Wounds.
Yeah, what?
Buy your Grievous Wounds.
What
That's
game
the
was
message
it when
I
I
want
was
to leave you with.
bitching at? They had
I don't even
one of the
remember.
teams had Ocean Soul, and the only Grievous Wounds they had, I think, was Thornmail and Ornn.
Yeah, bad call.
All right,
buy your Grievous Wounds.
We're gonna get out of here. Thanks for listening. Sub to us on YouTube, Spotify, Anchor, wherever else. Twitters are in the YouTube bio.
Check out our Instagram.
I'll share
Low Elo.
Yeah, I'll show the Instagram in the bio on the YouTube video as well. But yeah, hit the like button, come at us, and we'll see you next week.
Later, guys.